We're live. We're doing live. What's up, Jack? How you been, buddy?
I've been doing great. How about you, sir?
It's a different world, man. Like I finally came out on the other side of the moon. Everything was done and completed, and I've finally come to. And I'm not joking. I am wrestling with this new normal where there is no work. Like there's work. There's obviously work to do, but nowhere near the volume. And it's like, oh crap, it is a chore filling in the days. And I don't know. I hate to compliment old man Rolo. I really hate to compliment him. But I think he's got the only solution. Like his kid's out of the house. He's kind of semi-retired, everything, and you just gotta do more. You just
Yeah,
gotta do more. And because otherwise it's sit and stare at a wall. And what is it? The hedonic treadmill? Is that it? Or am I thinking Sisyphus or Sisyphus? The guy pushing the rock up the hill?
yeah, that's Sisyphus.
Sisyphus. What's the hedonic treadmill? Is that the same thing or is that something different?
Let me look that up real quick. Hedonic treadmill.
Well, you didn't have to. I just the idea is, Beckloff said it. The only thing worse than not having a job is not having a job. Yeah.
Oh, the hedonic treadmill is the
Yeah.
observed tendency of humans to quickly return to a relatively stable level of happiness despite major positive or negative events. So it's
Oh,
like your normal level of happiness. Like you have your ups and downs, but there is a
right.
baseline.
Baseline. Okay. That's not it then. Yeah. But it's kind of weird. It's an adaptation. So I had like 6 months where Jack, it was wonderful. 6 months I went nowhere. I didn't visit anybody. I was Mecca. People came to me at the Temple of South Dakota. So I had several visitors, but I went nowhere for 6 months. And then I'm like, okay, I'm rested up. Everything's done. And I flew out to Miami to go be on Fresh and Fit show, who, by the way, they just hit 1 million subscribers. So congrats to them.
Nice. How was it? How was Miami? Did you have fun?
I did have fun in Miami, but by the time I was ready, like I'm like, okay, cool, I could go travel again. I'm ready to go. I got the energy. And by the time I got back, I'm like, I'm not hopping on another effing plane. It's so exhausting. It's so exhausting. Miami was fun.
Mm.
Beautiful weather. I went for a run by the ocean like I normally do.
Hmm.
And Fresh and Fit are busy as heck, and they go from one thing to the other, and then boom, 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 they're on the show, and they're already working on the other show, and Myron's going to a workout. There's no downtime with them. And so while they're preparing other shows or sleeping, I'm just meandering like a boomer in Miami. Like, I'll try this coffee shop. I no joke. I think I went to 7 coffee shops and 3 gelato places.
Hmm.
Had cigars and and I'm like, God dang, this is it, huh? This is it. This is how it ends, huh? Just me
The
meandering through a freaking town. I should put my white hat on, get a cane, yell at some pigeons or something. I don't know. It's freaking over.
Yeah, I know this guy. He wrote this book called, what was it again? What was it again?
The
Uh,
menu,
uh, right, the deck pine.
right? The
No,
dick pine. What?
no. Enjoy the
Enjoy the
recline.
decline. Yes.
Oh yeah, by who was that again? Some.
That was written by the well endowed and very handsome Aaron Clary. That was
Oh, I thought he liked smoking dick, and that's what like ended him. But
whatever gives you existential purpose in life. Yes, correct. Oh, you laugh, Jack. See, you already you started a job, right?
yeah, and they're
Yeah.
this is so cool. Like it's only 8 hours a week because like the
Mhm.
fitness, the personal training thing that is way more successful than I dare to imagine.
Mhm.
But like you said, like every now and then you're kind of bored. But also, what if it all ends?
Mhm.
I want to have one foot, like, how do you phrase that? In the
Diversify.
door with a
Yeah.
normal job. Like,
Mhm.
if all else fails, like if I have to make a resume, they can never say, "Oh, why weren't you working this year or that year?"
Mhm.
Like they don't know. They don't need to know how much I worked.
Right. No,
They don't know.
absolutely.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. But it still is a job on there.
Yeah. What
Plus, for 8 hours a week, they're paying for my forklift certificate. It's like,
Okay, that's all. Okay, I didn't want to make it public where so you're getting your forklift certificate, which means you'll make more than like 80% of college graduates.
I
Uh,
know, right? Did you know in the Netherlands you can get that thing at 16?
no. Well, boy, I guess you'd have to do the math. What are they paying in euros for your average certified qualified forklift operator?
Oh, that is about, depending on your age, mm, average 12 euros per hour.
Okay, so it's not a lot.
No, but it's sufficient.
It's yeah. What is it? Is the euro still ahead of the dollar?
Not by
Hmm.
much, I think, anymore.
So you guys should print off more money. Oh wow, it's on parity. Oh,
Mhm.
wow. Oh, does Europe suck once again? Let's go back to the old. Do you remember when it was at 1.5 per US dollar?
Man, it was at 1.20 one time.
Look at
It is
this.
insane. I mean,
Look
you
at
know,
this.
inflation 17.1% in the Netherlands. Dude, there are like so many things I want to like rage with you about. Like, you're one of those friends of mine who I can just hit up and be like,
Oh, I'm
I'm
going to yell at
angry.
you. Please, by all means, rage, because after you made me read that eyesore of a book that I could probably get through 3 gallons of vaginal excrement by the woman author. Go ahead. No, what I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear.
So, first of all, you mentioned Rolo, and I just want to mention my deepest sympathies for
What
Rolo.
what happened,
Well,
old man
did you
Rolo?
see that atrocious article that came out where they said, well, let's do a ceasefire. We
Yeah,
didn't know what was going on during the pandemic. Like,
right.
fuck you. Fuck
Yep.
you, you fucking moron.
I
You
saved her
fucking
name.
man people hating scum. You
Mhm.
are scum of the earth. And you know, no forgiveness, no forgetting. There
Right.
are people, and Rolo's been public about this, who weren't even able to see their fucking parents. For what? The flu. It
Right.
was a
It was
flu.
the flu.
Most people who died were what, Cappy?
Old, frail, and infirm, and immunocompromised.
And
Men.
fat.
Mine fat. Oh, okay. I was like,
Fat. Capital PH fat. Yet here they are all of a sudden. It's like, oh, we're sorry. No, it
it's
doesn't
like the
work.
communists saying they're sorry they murdered everyone, or the Nazis. Oh, we're sorry we did. You shut down a global economy, and I see, I'm as angry as you are, but I'm not gonna let it get to me that much. Because what can we do? We can't we can't hunt this person down with pitchforks and torches. But you can decide whether these people are in your lives or not.
Exactly. It's like,
Right.
now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know. Like, what were we again? Like conspiracy theorists
Oh,
and
misinformation. Hang on, am I coming in hot?
not
No?
not too bad. How's
Check.
me?
Hang on, let me do that a little bit. Maybe I'm a little hot. Okay.
Mm.
Um No, my hatred is just as much, um, but there's nothing you could really do except to refuse to have anything to do with these people, and depriving these inferior people of productive, I would also say, mentally stable, insane people,
Mhm.
ensures that they are ostracized into the world of navel gazing and self-importance and mental illness, and so I
But
would
like,
just let them be.
but this is like the one thing that conservatives really need to get. No
Mhm.
forgiveness. No turning the
Oh, no.
other cheek.
Oh,
You
no.
hold these motherfuckers accountable this time.
Mm.
It's like,
I've
oh, didn't you mandate an experimental jab? Didn't you make
mhm,
people lose their jobs? Oh, how interesting.
mhm. Okay, Hitler. I mean, literally Nazis. Literally
They
Nazis. I
were.
know.
They
Yeah,
were.
they were. Yeah, and it's like, and I have kicked family members out. I won't have anything to do with them. But this is long ago. But I've been on this train of like, okay, you through voting, even as simple as something is like, okay, you vote Democrats, you're out.
Mhm.
My life is already hard enough. I don't need you making it harder, stabbing me in the back because you believe in the children's or whatever else. If you're that stupid. But yeah, this one. But the thing is, I pretty much kicked everybody out of my life who was a leftist in general. So there wasn't a lot of, there wasn't a lot to kick out with the COVID either. And I do
No,
understand like older and frail people, like, yeah, go ahead, do it. But I think, can you believe this, Jack? No one in my immediate or extended circles dared to tell me or lecture me about anything with COVID. Can you imagine
interesting.
no one approached me on any of those topics?
I can imagine. I kind of got the same thing, luckily. But I was almost hounded out of a store once because I
Mm,
wasn't wearing a mask.
mm.
Meanwhile, like the store clerk has three double chins where it's like, dude, I can
Yeah.
bench press you. Fuck off.
What, out of curiosity, has there been an admission that this was overkill? What was the origins or the instigation of that article?
Well,
Because I don't
slowly
pay attention to the news. Did something happen where it's like, oh yeah, we kind of effed up?
slowly but surely there was just more and more coming out, even in the EU Parliament.
Mm.
There was some ditz who all of a sudden said, by the way, about Pfizer, we didn't test if it would stop the spread. Oops. It's like, we were right. We were.
Mm.
And we
So
know.
so it's slow, like bits and their story is starting to crumble in bits and
Oh,
pieces here and there. Okay, now it's slowly or maybe rapidly falling apart.
And now, today, a story in the Netherlands broke. I don't know if you heard about the farmers' protest and blah, 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 because they want to shut down about 60% of all the agricultural sector because of carbon emission, because of a certain report. Now,
Yeah.
we had all the farmer protests and government kind of holding their foot down and blah, blah, blah. Today, an article was released saying, oh, we miscalculated in certain sectors with the carbon
Mm.
emission.
Mm.
Sorry. It's like, oh, no. No,
Nope.
no, 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 no,
No.
no, no, no.
So, am I to understand the government thought it'd be a good idea to shut down a significant part of the agriculture industry? The
Don't pin
food,
me
the
down on the
food,
six. Yeah.
the food, the
Yeah.
food,
The
not
food.
not sex toys for overweight women,
No.
not that industry, not the
No.
video games for neats that stay at home. We're not shutting down those industries. We're going to shut down the food.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, don't pin me down on the 60%, but it was at least a lot. It was like a
Yeah,
lot.
I just wanted to know what we're shutting down. I just want to know, okay, it's important that we shut down the food. All
But
right.
the EU is like weird because apparently in the Netherlands we export certain things, but we import
Tulips.
it at no, not tulips, but funny, but we import it as well. It's like, then why are we exporting it if we're going to import it anyway? It's like,
Jack,
what's
Jack,
going
you know what's great? We don't have to worry about it. You know why? Because we don't
on?
have
I know,
kids.
I know.
We only have to keep ourselves alive. And who's getting hurt the most?
The other people who
The
didn't prepare.
other people. And here's what I want you. I'm trying to make. Look how optimistic I am. Okay.
Like it's like the roles are reversed. Like
It's kind of
normally you're the
reversed.
angry one.
What is this like? Let's say you're Miss Twit at the EU or in Brussels or whatever, and you're all worried about this and you're running around and the sky is falling. What's that like? Like, let's say
Oh,
you get to shut it all down and then inflation gets in. I I gotta imagine that's gotta be mentally taxing. Whereas if we just sit and chill out, I mean, do you got food supply? Have you bought like some freeze dried food just to make sure you could get by?
nah, not really. But I've got things covered that I can at least purchase food and things like
Okay.
that. I've
Why
got a
don't
couple of addresses as well.
okay, address. Why don't you buy some food anyway?
Mm.
And then if this crisis comes, because I'm serious, these people do not know what they're doing, and that's evidenced by COVID. Um, just just be prepared so that you have your food, clothing, and shelter. And then when if bad stuff happens, oh my god, like I really don't care. I really don't care, and I enjoy watching you guys just fail and fail and fail to do what your life is presumably supposed to do, which is bring about utopia. You haven't brought about utopia. What's it like to waste your life? And so that is where I would kind of enjoy these people.
Oh yeah, I mean, just have not even pity. It's just gloat a bit. And
Glow. Oh,
maybe I'm in that stage right now where it's like, see, we were right. We were right. It's like,
I
ugh.
Have you watched my video on dark stoicism?
I think I did. I
Okay,
think.
the short version is there's stoicism, accepting what you do and do not control. But the
Mhm.
dark stoicism is deriving joy and pleasure, Schadenfreude, basically.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, from people who are the cause of the problem and they're failing and they're miserable. Even you could give them all the government money in the world, but you still look at it, it's like, oh, you're poor, you know. And
Oh,
so that is where I am delivering a lot of joy and happiness, in part because I've been told I'm wrong and a Nazi. Because why? I want low taxes. All this you're wrong and you're a bad person because you're wrong because you're not carrying the narrative. And now that the narrative is ruining these people's lives and they're so heavily invested in it to the point that their existence was moot, there was no reason for them to exist and they're missing out on more important things in life. I'm deriving happiness and joy from watching these people essentially waste and squander the one existence in life. So I enjoy seeing the fat women complain about how men die. I enjoy seeing people not get bailed out of student loans, like where they're so hopeful that
oh yeah.
10,000 measly dollars is going to help their life. So I think if you can get to that point, there'd be less frustration.
I told you that dating story, right?
Which one? I
The
mean,
girl.
they're all enjoyable because you win in the end.
Yeah, I did. Oh man, some of them. I will not say on camera, but it's like, oh yes, I
You
have
can say it
fond
on camera.
memories. Huh?
Well, say it on camera as long as it isn't
Oh no,
is
see,
isn't
not
names
not
or
if,
how's my audio
no.
now? Is it all right now?
Your audio is fine, old
Okay,
man.
just want to make
Don't
sure.
worry.
Okay.
No,
All right.
no, no. It's all professional. We're all
Oh
professionals.
yeah. Hey, speaking of professional, let me show you something. Let me
Oh
see that.
dear.
Is it? Huh? Look
Ah,
at that.
it's Tigger.
Tiger slippers. Look at that, man. Huh?
Mm.
How awesome am I? Look at that.
You are amazing, sir.
Let me ask you something, Jack. Do these fat leftists over whatever organization or government here or there, do they have Tigger slippers?
I don't think they do.
I don't think so. I don't think Nancy Pelosi has Tigger slippers.
I think they're too much of an adult for that.
Oh, you're right. They're too intellectual for Tigger
Oh
slippers.
my god. You're a
Oh,
Tigger slipper.
how sophomoric, my good man.
Oh my goodness. I read Karl Marx. Oh my god.
So what about your dating story?
So, oh, thank God I already banged her because oh my, I don't think I could have kept up appearance after this.
Mm,
We were talking about something, education, whatever. She did art history, and she now had a great job. And she's like, "Oh, but I still have my." No, we were. What was it? Yeah, but student debt isn't that bad. I only have 10,000, and I pay 60 euros a month. So I'm like 60 euros a month. So I started
6%.
I started 60 euros a month. So I
Uh,
started calculating interest. And I'm like, so you're almost paying 60 euros a month for 15 years for 10 grand.
mhm,
Why aren't you just saving up and pay it within a year?
mhm.
But I want to do nice things. Yeah, but you can do nice things for a longer period of time
Yeah.
if you for a short period of time don't do as many nice things. Yeah, but it's not that bad. It's only 60 euros a month, and I just want to keep doing nice things while I'm young. I'm like, I am so glad I already banged you because no.
Yep.
But don't care. I don't have
I
to.
and here's the thing, it's not like you can do nice things all day all. You're awake for 16 hours a day, okay? You know, and so there's a full-time job in there and there could be another part-time gig. You don't even have to do it every day, but like maybe a shift on the weekend. And I mean, let's be honest, she probably had the option to show her hoo-ha or suck a dick. And I don't know if it's legal. No, I'm being deadly serious. Women have that option, men don't. She could have just done OnlyFans, or if prostitution is legal, she could have worked a month or two and been done with it, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
But let them be. Let them burn. Let them
right.
have their fun.
Just let it. That's fine.
I mean, let me have my fun. It's like I saw in the chat, like red flag. Well, red flags are a green light. If you know how to deal with it, red flags are a green light. She has tattoos. Let's go. BPD.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
Oh
Bring
God.
it.
That's I know I talked to you in chat about this, but if I may be a boomer for a moment, because all nothing but young ladies tune in. I don't think I'm the only one sick and tired of the girls wearing pants above their belly button.
You know why they
It
do
it
that?
to hide their fat. I understand why they do it, but it's even the skinny girls that are doing it, and I'm like, y'all look stupid. You all look dumb. And this isn't the old, oh, I'm an old angry boomer. It's like, no, you look really stupid. It's not fashionable. It's not sharp. I don't know. Try wearing a dress. How many dresses do you think I saw in Miami? Now, admittedly, the women down there were thinner and more attractive.
Maybe
Not
two,
by much, but they were. Guess how many dresses I saw?
two.
None. I can't
Oh
remember.
wow.
And it's like, okay, I understand some girls were working out there in their workout gear. While they were walking, what were they doing, Jack?
No idea. Wearing their waist way too high. Oh, their phone. Yeah, their
And
phone.
I'm like, you're gonna get hit by a truck. There's a lot of traffic down here.
Oh,
But then when it's nighttime,
grab the popcorn. Just
yep,
let them
it's like, and then the stomach pants. It's like, okay, all right.
Yeah, like
And I'm not wrong.
you're a big fan of dresses, but I just like the tight jeans where the waist is actually at the waist or even lower.
I
It's like, but how many girls fit into that?
I
Not a lot.
I know. I don't know. I'm a guy and I'm a straight dude. And where's the dresses? They literally look. I understand how we got rid of suits, right? There's no reason to dress up in a suit anymore. You don't pay enough. You require way too much education. It's stupid. It's dumb. And now, if you're doing white collar work, which is presumably what a suit would be, you're probably remote working. And there's no there, and not to mention the real power brokers are not who's in the suit, it's who can program or who's the CPA. So those people could kind of wear, IT people, they don't wear suits, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I can understand the transition out of suits and into like business casual or just like a jacket or just whatever. But ladies, what do you have something against dresses? Is it you're not our playthings, you're not a woman, but you're proud to be a woman, so you don't need to wear a dress, but you're proud to be female, but the dress is indicative and constriction and a sign of the slavery, and that was a men's creation for you to wear dresses, but you're gonna celebrate femininity by dressing like guys? I
Rem-
we're not gonna
remem-
see dresses, they're gonna be gone by the time you and I are in our 50s and 60s.
remember hot pants or like Daisy Dukes?
Oh, wow, that goes long way
I
back, way
I
back.
had an ex who had a pair of those and
Mhm.
they looked great. That
Oh, yeah.
was just yes.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. Well, it's kinda sad when me and the GF go into town, she's usually the only one in a dress, and it's so sad seeing not even these old guys, certainly some old guys, but just guys in general, it's like sight for sore eyes, and like, "Oh, a woman," and then you look around and, yeah, okay, it's South Dakota, but you look at all the other gals, it's like, you're dressed like dudes. You dress like freaking dudes, and all you have to do, it isn't even because of the sexuality. I think it's just because of the beauty and the color. Like dresses are colorful, um, and they're flowing and pretty. Look, ladies, we get to see enough crap in the guy's life. I got to look at Jack's face. All right, he's got to look at mine, and
Mhm.
we got to go work. We got to do. Man, he's doing the forklift. I'm doing Excel spreadsheets and drinking my coffee and going to the gym and other things. Just once, could we see something pretty and beautiful in the world, and that would be a girl in a dress? Or is that it
Nope.
is? It's condescending. It's enslavement. It's whatever.
I am like for YouTube, I'm narrating Ian Ironwood's The Manosphere right now. And
Mm,
I just did a chapter called The Rise of Feminism, and there's this huge chunk in it, indeed, where it's just the rise of envious women on married women, that they're just trying so hard to make women think that marriage is oppression no matter
oh yeah.
what.
Yeah.
And there are like snippets of feminist articles in there, and it's oozing with vitriol and hatred
And
of
shame, I
happiness,
presume? Shame?
shame as well for
Yep.
happiness. Like you shouldn't do that because as a woman, you can get whatever you want and blah blah blah. And oh my god. and you're just brainwashed for liking your husband and doing as he
Mhm.
pleases. It's like, oh my
There
god.
there is a baseline automatic, like, autoimmune, it's a system now, and you could see it. It's a like an immune system where the white blood cells go and attack. If you step off the reservation with modern day women, I'd say under 40, and you say, "Well, I love my husband, I wanna support him," some will come out and attack you,
I
and
told you
it's
about my tradcon friend, his wife.
yeah, yeah, many
She
times,
she
yeah.
she doesn't have many friends.
No, she won't, because she's out having fun. She's
Mhm.
actually probably living her life and enjoying being married. Is she a mother?
Yeah, 2
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, and she got herself back in shape, right?
Mhm. With all due respect, I tell him this all the time. What was it? I can't even remember the situation, but she was leaving with the kids, like getting groceries or something, and we were like staring out the window, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, I do have to go check after my wife," you know? It's like,
Yeah, he
just
does, yeah.
ogling
Yeah,
her.
yeah. Well, and but you are 100% correct there. I've seen it now in increasing amount. Now, I wish we had more mathematical data input, but the Pygmesia. Have you heard of that Pygmesia?
No.
I think it's like geisha based on the Japanese escort
Girl.
girl. You know what a
Yeah.
geisha? I think it's Pygmesia.
Yeah.
So women already got a term for a girl who's like maybe crushing on a guy, and they pursue him, not in an aggressive or obvious way, but like they flirt with the guy. They say, "Oh, you're pick Mishaing or pick Misha," and it's like, what if she wants to go out on a date? Like, isn't it about choice? Can't these girls just? Is there something wrong? And I don't know, the crabs in the bucket, but again, do you wanna live that life? Could you imagine what it's like being these girls that your friend finds a cute guy and you're pissed off at her? Or some rando on the internet is like, "I'm out with my husband and I made him food and I cooked and I sucked his dick." Oh my god, and, like, you are compelled, your life is so freaking out of whack. You are so mentally ill that you think you gotta go and attack that girl on the internet instead of like, different strokes, different folks." Like, it is
Dude,
fascinating to me. It's
eh,
absolutely fascinating.
maybe a bit of a weird comparison, but you're dealing with ideologues like a black Republican.
Yeah.
You know how many
Oh,
hate
yeah.
those guys get?
Oh, yeah.
They get a shit ton of hate.
That you're not you don't even have to
Ooh.
join the Republican Party. You just have to be slightly more you just have to leave the ghetto and get a degree and a job. Like, "Well, you think you're better than us? Well, your Uncle Tom?" It's like he doesn't even have to say he's a Republican. It's oh yeah, absolutely. There is and I'm wondering how much of that is tribalism where you're leaving this tribe and we need you. It's no, it's not leaving the tribe. You know what it's like, Jack? You know what it is?
Hmm.
The Borg.
Yeah.
If you try to leave
Tulsi.
the board, yeah, they'll come after you. They will come after you if you leave the board because they need you. They need as many drones essentially plugged into their system as possible.
Yeah, because if you don't, you become a reflection of that they might be wrong.
Right.
And they hate that. It's
Yep.
like I have a friend who kind of knows everything I do. He never acted on it. Reminds me of Cypher from the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like if he had the chance, just put me back. Just put me back. It's like, no, you can't go back. The way is forward. Move.
Mm.
But yeah, sometimes, yeah, you know, people are gonna people. And do we have their lives? No. What are we doing? Like
we
we said it before. Who will win? The
we will.
world's best journalists or two fuckboys with a mic?
And it's not because of anything grandiose. We're just saying that we know what's going on. We may not be wealthy. Our grand possessions might be Tigger slippers,
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon or Lego pirate ships. But in the end, we're not confused. Like, my God, if I found this great girl, blah, 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 I would be like, screw you, Jack, pick me. I'd be like, cool, Jack, good for you, man. I hope to meet her someday. And that right there is why we're going to win and why we're going to be better. What, you want the big bodacious tatas? I know. I know.
That's
Wait,
not even.
were you pro fake boobies?
Yes.
Okay, I am too. I'm glad we're on yeah, you
I
were
mean,
the one that
yeah.
was about as adamant as
Look,
I was.
ladies, I love you, but hear me out.
Do you think they're
Every
gonna yeah, wait. Oh,
no, no,
Jack.
no, no,
Oh,
no, no.
okay.
I
They're
know,
gonna
I
hear you
know, I
out.
know.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Bang your head
I
against
know.
this wall. I'm gonna watch.
Wall.
Let
I
me get
know,
my
head wall.
popcorn. Okay, here you go. Get a running start, Jack. Go ahead.
And just saying everything under a C cup is irrelevant. So, ladies, I mean, get to it. It's like I really don't get how you can't be against fake boobies when it's needed.
From a
When it's
guy's
like
perspective or a girl's perspective?
both. I've met guys who are like, "Oh, you're really into that? You're lying.
Yes,
You're
he
an
is.
ally."
Yes,
He's one
bravo,
of those.
Jack.
He's one
Bravo,
of
Jack.
those.
He's one of those. Yep.
He's an ally. He's like, I'm just lying so she'll like me better. No, be mean to them sometimes. Your tits need to
Big
be this
old
big to ride.
bitties. Big old
Yeah, but
bitties.
they are therapeutic. They just are.
They are.
Yeah.
Did I tell you
It's
the
like,
standard I would have?
oh, do tell.
Okay, so you know that there's the punching bag that hangs from the ceiling. You go badoom, 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 badoom.
Uh-huh.
That's the size. So I want to be able to do that with them
Really?
bitties. Yeah, just want to be able to.
No, 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 no. You're like I have this like my perfect 10 is just so rare these days. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
you have a higher rate of catching a shiny Pokemon. But it's like a very small waist and like body fat percentage where you can almost see abs, but
mm-hmm.
a C cup and a firm one at that.
Only C.
Well, because she's so slender, the
Yeah, there's it
C
was show, I guess
is
more.
yes, the C is kind of like it looks bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a size thing and blah blah blah. So that will be like a C75, maybe even a C65, because she has such a
Centimeters.
small yes,
Right,
because she
right.
has such a small waist and she's
Okay.
slender.
Mm-hmm.
But like at a certain point, it becomes too big. You know what I'm saying? There is a
Yeah,
too big.
there is a too big, but I think my too big is significantly bigger than your too big because I still want them ba-boom, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom.
CD, like CD.
D, I
That is
want double D's. I want double D's.
yeah, but like that is a European for F, I think.
Okay.
With,
That's
depending on the girl, an F can be nice, but
right.
the
Maybe
the
because I've been dating a gal who's 6 feet tall so long, like she's got double D's. God bless America. But maybe on her I would want them bigger. Maybe your proportionality argument is the same. So
bingo.
what if my girlfriend was not 6 feet tall but was instead 5'5"? Then maybe I'd be like, whoa, yeah, you do have a point there.
Yeah.
Um
Unless like the tits become bigger than her head, kind of thing.
not necessarily against that. Just not.
No, no,
I'd have
no.
to see. I mean, let me like this is gonna happen tomorrow or something. Like all of a sudden there's gonna be 5 women lined up. Oh, hey, now that I have a choice. I do want to have you because you pained me, Jack. You pained me.
I seriously, you asked me on Tuesday, want to do a podcast on it in a couple of weeks. I haven't even
No.
finished the book.
Oh, you haven't finished the book.
I
Do you
told
mind,
you.
what explain to people this wonderful book? Explain to people what the book. Okay.
Okay.
You
Shall
I'm
I
gonna tell them
explain
this
first
story.
how I got to it?
I would love it. Yes, please do.
So a couple of friends of mine and we follow this guy on Instagram and on Twitter, Carnivore Aurelius. And I think you follow him too. That's how I found him.
Maybe.
You used to follow him on Twitter. And like he's big on the meat-based diet and anti-seed oils and blah, blah, blah. And he was making posts about birth control. It's like birth control, there's blah, blah, blah. It's poison and this and that. And I took it with a grain of salt where it's like, yeah, whatever. It's like modern medicine. Everybody's against that. And then a couple of his posts, I was like, wait a minute. Really? Is that what birth control does? Hormonally. And then I remember Milo Yiannopoulos, his famous article. Remember Milo?
I remember Milo, but which of his famous articles did he write?
He got Hillary Clinton to say the title. It was glorious. The title was Birth Control Makes Women Fat and Crazy. And there is an audio clip, even a video clip of Hillary Clinton saying that. Yes, there is. That's in the same part when she calls Trump supporters basket of deplorables. And there's this part, birth control makes women fat and crazy. I am so going to edit that out, by the way. But that got me to reread that article. And Milo had some good points. And I'm like, is there more research on this? Like, there's gotta be. And thus, I found this book, like, Your Brain on Birth Control.
Okay, so it wasn't because of the carnivore guy on the Instagram citing that. You, under your own steam, decided to go and
Yes.
research to figure it out. Okay, so this must have
Yeah.
been a really boring Tuesday for you to go and look for a book.
Hey, I like knowing things. Like, evolutionary psychology. I like it. Like, why do people act like they do? Like the decrease in testosterone over the
No,
years.
I
Yeah.
get it. So you wanted some medical, documented, researched
Yeah.
proof to see what is what
Yeah.
is.
And
All
I
right.
found this book, and before I bought it, I started listening to a couple of podcasts with the woman who wrote
Dr.
this.
Sarah Hill, is that the name of the author?
Yes, yes, yes.
If you can call her that.
And indeed, during the podcast, it was a lot of, well, she is a woman.
Boy, you nailed it. You described it. It's sad because the topic is interesting, but
It is.
I'll have my own comments, but you nailed it, man. It's like, lady, we're all
Shut
gonna die here. Get to the
the
freaking
fucking
point.
point.
Oh my
There is.
God.
You do not. If you get this book, you don't need to read the footnotes. You just don't. You don't
What
need them. They're all fluff, and it's so
was she the same way?
magical.
Was she the same way on the podcast? Like, was
Oh
it a
yes,
7-hour podcast to get to one data point? I'm serious.
yes,
Oh
yes.
God.
It's like you think Rolo's podcasts are long. He actually makes points.
He does.
Yeah. And I asked him about it, like, do you know her research? And he left me on red. I'm like, well, this is helpful. Okay,
Oh,
thanks, man.
so
This
you know
helped.
you had the right Rolo. It
Yeah.
wasn't an imposter. You got in contact with the right one, right? Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
Other,
good.
I mean, only the real one would leave me on red. I mean, I'm sure about that. But I'm like, okay, this is helpful. So I started diving deeper into it, and there was a book by Sarah Hill. I listened to a couple of podcasts of her, and I'm like, okay, this is taking way too long for data points, and why it is like that. I'm ordering the book. It was only like $10.
Mm.
So I started reading it, and the beginning is indeed like, what does it mean to be a woman? And it's so magical, and our whole world.
And we're
Says,
like,
oh my
all
god,
amazing with lawyers and doctorates. When I was in undergrad, like, okay, glad you recommended that book to me. Oh, Aaron, you got to read this book. All right, go on. I'm glad you're suffering pain too. So you decide to pick up the physical version, and
yes.
you're listening to this. All right.
So and I'm reading it, and thank God I read pretty quickly. But then you get to the actual data.
At what
And
chapter, Jack? What chapter do you get to the actual data?
uh, chapter 3. So that's like how many
Three,
pages?
three.
Yeah, so
I
that's
thought
like
it started in mid to late 4.
yeah, so it's like 50 pages of feelings and sensations.
See, when I write a book, you get a short intro chapter, and then we're off to the races. This woman, I don't know what you saw in chapter 3, but this woman took until late chapter 4, as far as I read it, to get to the freaking point or start introducing a premise. So, all right, could continue, Jack. All right, so you're in chapter 3.
Yeah, well, and then finally shit starts to happen where it's like, oh my god, holy shit. Apparently, women on the pill tend to have a higher level of cortisol, which
Okay.
means the stress hormone.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, women on the pill are apparently way more stressed all the time compared to women off the pill. Now, the thing is, though, that the cortisol spikes when they are stressful are higher in women who are not on the pill,
Mm.
but it goes down a lot more as well compared to women on the pill. That was one interesting fact. So apparently, you're stressed all the time.
And what one would presume women on birth control would correlate with women who are more professional, employed, career in education or so. So they already have a busy schedule and lifestyle. And just
Yeah.
so the audience knows, so they don't have to read this book, the birth control that we're talking about is the one that tricks your body into thinking it's pregnant, correct?
Yes.
So it stands to reason you're pregnant, therefore we got to boost cortisol because you're caring for another child or human being, and so it increases their cortisol base level in a group of women that will tend to have more stressful, not super stressful necessarily, but more stressful environments with work and obligations.
Hmm. Well,
Okay.
things like that. And I don't know if you've read this part, but what I like about the author, in all honesty, it just gives you such a good viewpoint on how ideologues operate. And there was this
Is she an
bit.
ideologue or is it in the
She
book?
is. It
Okay.
is in the book. There are a couple of things where it's like, now don't. She's covering her tracks. Where it's like, don't get me wrong. I know this is a horrible side effect, but as women as a whole, it made possible that we at least could get a career.
So,
And
okay. So there is the
Mm,
reality, the biological reality. She's done some research. Here are the benefits, but symptoms, side effects, consequences. And then instead of just saying, yeah, but there it is, like kind of an academic paper and leaving it at that, she then has to carry on the narrative and reverse engineer or rationalize why these are costs that should be incurred because insert standard feminist talking point career and
yep.
education. Is because I
Yeah.
stopped at chapter 5. I could
Yeah.
not go any further.
Oh, you went on a long time then. I thought you stopped at chapter 1. Remember from the beginning where she said, even though the pill has its side effects, could women find a more safer way to be liberated from the consequences of their sexual behavior? It's like, keep your legs together. How about that? It's like,
But they want the cake and eat it too. I don't remember that because I was in such pain listening to the first few chapters. I'm because I have to ask you what the rest of the book was about. I could only get up to about chapter 5, and even then, the data and the information, what you need, and what the whole point of the book was interspersed through such pablum and fat that I started to not pay attention. It's like your teachers in the public school, like, blah, 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 and then you missed out on what was really important because they never got to it. So far, she had gone through and academically put together the biological consequences, side effects, all that of birth control, biologically speaking, for women. Then she goes on to, so what is that? Chapter 6 and 7? I think there's 8 chapters total. So the next chapters are all reverse engineering and oh, it's okay and da 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 da.
no, she kind of reverse engineers within the chapters.
Okay.
All that, where like I said, about what women on the pill tend to find attractive. So apparently they did some research where they took a peer group of women off the pill, and they showed photos of men.
I remember this.
And
All right.
yes, and a lot of photos of men with masculine features were deemed attractive.
While
Then
they were on or off
off
when they were
off the pill.
off. All right.
So women's natural tendency is to indeed find more masculine traits attractive.
Hmm.
Then a part of that peer group went on the pill for about 3 months, whatever. They all came back, did the same test, and it was vehemently clear that women on the pill now tend to find men with more feminine traits and less masculine traits more attractive.
All right.
It even has gone so far that a lot of, or not a lot, there has been research that shows married women going off the pill while they were on the pill meeting their partner, not finding their husbands attractive anymore.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah.
was there a guy who leaves people on read that used to say alpha fucks and beta bucks?
Yeah.
Was
What's his
there
name
a
again?
old geezer with a ratty ponytail and skinny
Oh,
jeans?
that's me.
I know because it's true, but
For his age, he's got good hair.
I of course we pick on roll. Yes. But so the what is it? The axiom he said or whatever. This is just borne out in the research.
Yes, but the thing is, and that's why I was hoping that like Rolo would give us insights on this, because the main reason why I wanted to read all of this and know more about this is does it, or at least my question is, um, how much does this alter like the red pills work? Because we know like alpha need beta seed. Or
Mhm.
sorry, beta need alpha seed. Alpha seed,
Right.
beta need. That's the one. Alpha fucks beta bucks. We know that. But that's the natural course of life. Now we have hormonal birth control, which messes that up completely, where it tends to make women more attractive to less masculine men, which would explain why you see women walking with these soy guys, where you're like, he can't even do 5 push-ups. Like
Right.
you can clearly see that.
I know the type. I've seen some. I know some. Yes.
Yeah. And yet there's these women next to them. And it's like, is that all game? Is that really all game?
Well, would you say that? See, in terms of sexual interaction, I think it is a in women's behavior. I think this that
What was it?
bifurcation or split between the two groups. There's two distinct groups. They are banging the guys. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you see that in sex rate data. And then when they settle down, I will say that, and maybe we need more research and data, but they do settle for these kind of soy boys. And you could say that's due to um, being on birth control, and so they will never settle. I would say there's a larger sociological drive where that's what they've been told to want is like, okay, you go have fun with this guy, but when it comes time to settle and marry or commit, you want to find that sensitive 90s guy. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think the biology, because I don't really believe that biology is that strong in this particular case. It might influence things 10 to 15%.
Yeah, but a weird thing as well that they found is that women on the pill tend to be way less sexual satisfied because they are way less sexual during the
Yeah, their
time they're
body
on
is
the
already
pill.
is already fooled into thinking they're pregnant. Right. So I could
Yeah,
see they're not getting hit with whatever hormone it is to make them horny.
exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So
What
but
was
so my question to you is like you're saying, well, what how does this affect red pill philosophy or the information we'd give younger men? I don't think it influences it at all because we've already been kind of fielding these fly balls for the past 20 years, and the speculation is like, well, women on birth control are ovulating or not. I think we've all kind of done that. Plus their behavior has already resulted in the rules and laws we formulate. Like, look, okay, they are going to bang Chad. But then, oh, why are they with this soy boy guy? Well, she probably wanted to settle down.
well, the thing
Yeah.
is, and this is what I tend to notice, they don't always go for Chad, you know. It's like they go for like the ugly soy guys as well. And this was kind of a wake up call for me as well. Like I was at the former bass player, the guy
Mhm.
who I went to Portugal with.
Mm.
And he kind of lives in the student dorm, blah blah blah. And there was hippie chick who I shagged. And we were walking together and he asked me like, "Do you still talk to her?" I'm like, "Yeah, every now and then." And every now and then there was a guy who walked by and he told me, he's like, "Oh yeah, him too. Oh yeah, him
Okay.
too."
All right.
She is like, yeah, like all fine and dandy.
And this is
But
on a
what I
college campus.
nah, more like student dorm ish, not per se on the campus.
Okay,
Just
but
as
college age living
yeah,
area? Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But the guys who he pointed at, I'm like, what? Like, huh? What the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And then later on, he asked me like a couple of weeks later, he's like, yeah, you still talk to her? I'm like, no, not after what you showed me. He's like, you tend to wonder where you stand, don't you? I'm like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
no, no.
Maybe
It's like you had me and you go up or
Mhm.
nothing. But this was just downgrades where I'm like, have some self respect. I know it sounds very narcissistic, but I
No,
was
I
like, what the hell is going on here? Because, like, the red pill praxeology mentions they only go for the chads and they only go for the this and that. But the real life example is pretty
well,
contradictory
that
to
was
that.
that was one data point.
Well, I've seen it before. Even Vince noticed in Philadelphia, where it's like you
Yeah.
saw some good looking chicks.
Mhm.
The guy next to them, you're kind of like, What?
See, you until you know why, and that's why I'm saying is, a lot of these girls, maybe they do wanna get married, and I would say I'm guessing here, I don't know until you start pulling them and get actual data, and then again, good luck getting people to tell the truth when you do self-reporting, but if I were to look at it, and I've seen it, like, they end up settling for some kinda beta schlub because he makes money, and it's begrudging, it's reluctant, I don't see smiles on their faces, but it happens. The gal that you were talking about, maybe she just wanted some dick every once in a while, maybe she was okay, with just who knows? But if we start looking at ancillary data, um, you know, there are fewer men having sex. Um, Also, women's choice. You got to think about that. Women are there's not. I mean, what if a woman just wants a good screwing nowadays and she's under 30?
Yeah.
Where's she gonna find, the guys like you? Well, yeah, that's you, but you're not gonna. You might be occupied. These guys might have something else going on, and if they're in
Follow
a
me on Instagram.
well, they also think about this. You have to be within proximity to have sex, right? And if they're on student housing in campus, no offense to the Dutch, but I'm going to assume you guys under 30 are just as big of pussies as American men under 30s.
A lot
And
of
so
guys
that's
are.
that's the choice. That's what they. Oh, I don't like the fish in this pond. Well, tough. This is the pond you get the fish out of. Well, I guess I got to catch a fish. Who knows
Yeah.
why that is? But my question is, did you find anything unique or interesting that wasn't already kind of explained by other research and data or observations in this kind of unprofessional meta study that's been going on here on the internet for 20 years?
You are gonna love this. You are
Okay.
gonna like this. Like you always complain about fat women. Well, apparently.
Mm,
So okay, here's the thing. So what about the pill and weight gain? Well, a number of studies show that the pill per se does not cause weight gain, but a lot of research out there suggests that if you are on the pill and do gain weight, the hormones in the pill might have something to do with it. Pretty obvious. The reason I say this is that a great deal of research in humans and other animals show the estrogen surge that prompts ovulation predicts decreased food intake. This decrease is believed to reflect an unconscious motivational trade off in which women's increased sexual motivation, all that fun stuff, blah, 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 comes at the expense of decreased motivation to do other things like eat and digest. So, women biologically kind of know that the less we eat, the hotter we are. This
duh.
is built in to their firmware.
And so the pill throws this off then?
Yep.
Okay.
Because
So,
the
all right. And then the implication is they have no willpower because they're on the pill and are completely helpless to the winds of the outside
well,
environment. Or does she actually say hit the gym regardless?
unfortunately, I haven't seen here hit the
She
gym, but
has okay.
apparently, because the pill messes so much with the hormones, they are in a constant state, hormonally close to ovulation,
Mhm.
which prioritizes food over
Mate
being
attraction.
hot. Yep.
Okay. All right. So there is a biological or not biological, but a biochemical or hormonal force for girls on birth control to eat more or to not work out as much. The emphasis is put on caloric intake as opposed to looking hot to attract a man.
Yes.
Okay.
And I thought this was absolutely hilarious because, like, biological, the female body is just against big is beautiful.
Well, it
Isn't that
is, but
amazing? I love nature.
you could say the female body is that way, but psychologically, humans, I'd say laziness is a larger force for both men and women, and we know who wins out in or which force wins out in the end there.
Mhm.
The but the birth control is not helping with that. If a woman wants to lose weight, the birth control is not helping with that.
No, because hormonally it tends to affect them in such a manner that they would want to eat more. because
Okay.
they're in that constant state of, oh, well, I've been attractive. Now I want to eat because I'm going to get pregnant.
Yeah, 2 I'm feed I mean, they're eating for 2. I understand the compulsion. I being a guy, I'm just fascinated, because I have agency. I have control. Jack, has there been days you didn't wanna go to the gym, but went anyway?
Yes, those are the
Has there
best.
have there been days you didn't wanna go to work, but went anyway?
Yes,
Why?
because I don't have tits.
Because 'Cause you're an adult.
Yes.
Because you're an adult. And I find it fascinating where, and this is a criticism of everyone, because men are overweight too. It's like, look, I don't care what your biology is screaming at you to lie down and do nothing and conserve calories of energy because you don't know where your next meal is coming from. The difference between humans that are going to have rewarding lives, I'm not going to say happy lives, rewarding lives, are those that ignore all the biology that's screaming at you to be a fat, lazy piece of shit and
Hmm.
to go and do something, whether that's work, working out, dieting, some kind of work, labor, sustaining of pain and discomfort, because good things come after that. And so I don't think she was writing this as a means to say, okay, girls, it's not your fault. This is just yet another biological force prompting women
Well,
to eat and work out less, but it still doesn't change the fact that you have choice and you don't, it's not going to kill
mm,
you if you're on birth control to go on a diet.
well, yes and no. Look, this is not necessarily a biological thing. This is more a societal thing where my interest was peaked as well. Where it's like, because this is one of those things where it's like, oh, just take the birth control. It's normal. Not knowing the consequences.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, you are correct. So, well, let me ask you this, because I don't know. Do they tell women the birth control is perfectly fine and there are no consequences? Is that the current platform?
From what I do know, it's kind of like, yeah, you know what? If you have side effects, just let us know. We'll get you another one. Because, like, where was this? There is a list of how many types of pills there are. Look, holy shit. Can you see this?
Oh my God. that's
It's like,
that's over
what's
20
the.
different types of pills.
And another
Another
2 pages.
whoa.
It is like, what? Oh, yeah. Progestins and estrogens and some frequently used hormonal contraceptives. It's like, what the hell?
So wait,
Oh,
what okay, so perhaps maybe I understand your premise here. It is shocking this
whoa,
book
whoa, whoa, whoa,
exists.
whoa.
What?
Real quick. I need to ban somebody.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Piss off.
All right.
Yes.
So the premise of your point, the point you're trying to make, is that to you, me, and everybody else out there, you come up to us and say, "Hey, did you know hormonal birth control affects hormones? It changes women's behavior." And we're like, "Duh." But the fact this book was written, what, not even a year ago?
Something like that. What was
When
it?
was it?
It's not that old. I know that.
It
Get
didn't come
over
out in the
here.
60s and 70s, right?
No, no, no. 2019.
Okay, so this relatively recent book, we, oh my God, she has to write a book for women to tell them, hey, I know this is a taboo topic, but there might be some side effects and hormonal changes and psychological changes to take you to pill. That's your point. That we have kept people in the dark so long, or let's be honest, women have kept themselves in the dark willingly for so long
Yes.
that this woman now 60 years after birth control came out has come out with a book saying, hey, did you know that this might affect your mood? Is that what we're saying here?
Yes. And not only mood, also the men you find attractive.
Okay.
It messes with your natural tendency to find more masculine men attractive.
Okay.
Now, you can override that because, well, it's certain phases, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's hot. No, what was it again? I was drunk. He was cute. One thing led to another kind of thing.
Right.
It does still happen, but it just amazes me how much the pill affects certain things in women. Where I was like, yeah, I know, like the red pill talks about all of this, but does this effect of birth control throw a wrench in all of it?
Okay. So
In
you were
certain, or
you
does
were
it
sup
explain certain things like the divorce rate?
right. Well, yeah,
Does
it would, yeah, but you were also surprised by the amount of the effect as well, because I think you, me, and
yes.
anyone with their head out of their ass, male or female, knew like, yeah, birth control will mess with your hormones, and there's some cons. I think any mature adult knew that. You're surprised to the extent and how much based off of this book.
Yeah. I mean, to the effect that it can cause divorce?
Mhm,
That was kind of a shocker to me.
mhm.
Where it's like, damn, holy shit. And their sex drive, it messes up their sex drive, makes them less into sex, and things like that. It's like, okay, interesting. Explains a lot. So, again, that is where my question comes from. Like, how much in the red pill is like female nature, and how much is it birth control behavior?
Interesting.
By
You're
the way,
right, because
real quick,
that does throw kind of a curveball in it, but here, I guess we could all assume most girls are on birth control?
a lot. In
Yeah.
Asia, I believe, not so many, which
Oh,
also explains a lot.
well, that does there's a data point there. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
Now,
Huh.
by the way, real quick, I am
Mm.
not saying that everything the red pill ever said is now wrong because of birth control, or that birth control is the reason everything is messed up. I'm not. I just found this a very interesting topic. I'm diving into it.
Mm.
For shits and giggles, it has become one of my favorite new conspiracy theories. Where it's just like every time a woman messes up, it's like, oh no, she's on birth control. It's like, oh, okay, okay.
Well,
But
okay, but
in
let me ask you
general, this
this.
is just a new perspective and nothing.
I think it is an angle to consider, but let me ask you this. What do you think has more of an effect? Sociological environment, what they're being told and an upbringing and all that, versus the birth control? Because birth control has been around for 60 years roughly, right? And you have seen a change of behavior, and I'm not saying there hasn't been any effect, but um I would argue kind of footnote, okay, birth control, something to consider, but we got larger fish to fry. There's larger, I would say, sociological forces resulting in women making the choices that they happen to do.
Okay, here's a thought.
Mm,
Why why shouldn't birth control have made that easier?
what
Think about
easier?
that.
Making
The
it the
social programming.
so you gotta
Like
figure out
the same
yeah,
thing with men. Like testosterone is plummeting.
okay,
What is easier to control than a low testosterone male?
not
And
much.
maybe I'm getting conspiratorial here, but how many people went along with the whole coof thing?
Right. So you're saying what? Birth control was willingly created by the CIA to control women and get them more docile or something, or
No,
less sexually active, or what?
I think that had mostly to do with taxes, where it's like, hey, if we can get women in the workforce, we can tax them more. Like, I never believed the whole women liberation thing. There was always something behind it. I think. Don't pin me down.
I have a different theory, but okay,
Oh,
all
go
right.
ahead. Like I
I
said,
think
I
we
can.
just got wealthy. Women were not occupied with housework like they were just to get by, and they had a lot of free time. And humans being selfish creatures that they are, they started claiming that they themselves were of ultimate importance. And with leftist politics in general, but also in the environment of democracy, they just started voting themselves in more and more free shit because they're bored.
Hmm.
I mean, men kind of do roughly the same thing, but in their own kind of different way. But that's just but that is beyond the scope of this book and I don't really like conspiracy theories. I mean, they're sexy, but I don't know if they have a lot of bearing in
No, I think,
reality.
like I
Um,
said, this is not like the new truth and everything. It's more like, hey, a different perspective I stumbled on. I find it interesting, and it does explain a couple of things.
right.
Maybe
Well,
somebody in the audience had a girlfriend, went on birth control, and all of a sudden their sex drive was gone. Well,
I would definitely, yeah. When you go on or off birth control, definitely there's going to be a change in behavior. But I think women are either on it or they're not for long periods of time. And then when they go on it, we could argue, well, let's say a girl is 16 and she goes on birth control. When is she likely to get off of it? 36, when she's about to get married and have kids. So for every guy that is interacting with her for the short, medium, and long term for that 20-year period of time, she is who she is. You could say, well, if she was off birth control, she'd be different. But yeah, if she's 25, she ain't getting off birth control anytime soon. And therefore, which is kind of the point I was making beforehand, we've been fielding so many fly balls that we've kind of already intuitively, whether that ball was hit by a girl on birth control or not, we're reverse engineering and we've kind of figured, oh, okay, she's hitting that way or batting that way. It's going to go left field. And we're already got enough experience in this that it would be, oh, she's on birth control. Well, the ball might go that way now. But I don't think it's going to fundamentally change anything that guys at the red pill or dating dynamics or men's strategies. If for any other reason that you can assume most women within courting or dating ages are on birth control. And so
Mhm.
that is a consistent pool, a monolithic pool of people who are going to exhibit those same behaviors. Where you got to worry about it is perhaps when you get married, she goes off the pill and has kids. That might be the very specific takeaway men should learn about. Like, look, if your woman has been on the pill, here's what you can expect when she goes off if you're going to have kids. Or in the rarer instance, your girl is not on the pill. You've had your kids. Now she's going to go on, which again, I would argue is a case for vasectomy for guys. So you don't have to deal with this. But that's about the only thing I could say. So you're right. Divorce is horrific. It's probably the single biggest risk men face from an emotional, financial, and legal standpoint. And if the girl goes off birth control because she wants to have her kids, now, and I do remember reading that part about like, yeah, they found other men attractive. I think one went off and had an affair, and wait, didn't both of them run off and have an affair or something
Yeah,
like that?
that part was dark. Where it's like,
She
oh
was doing
damn.
that just to get her girlfriends and the readers like, tee ooh, sexy. That's what that was. But I don't doubt for a second that they did find other men attractive and
Tee,
run
I
off.
cheated. Oops.
Oops,
Gorsh.
oops. Sexy. Ooh, I'm gonna buy this book and recommend it to my friends. So saucy.
Ah.
That's why I kind of. But beyond that, I mean, is there anything else to gain from the fact that chicks be different than when on the pill and not? All right.
Well, if you put it that way, I mean, never mind then.
Isn't it the same thing as
Should
menopause? Well,
rain
I'm
on
just
my
saying
parade.
it's a very like girls don't go on and off birth control every week. They're on it for decades at a
They don't.
time. No, they
True.
don't. Right.
Very true.
And
And the
then same
thing
thing.
is then that to a large extent, it affects the men they find attractive and tend to find less masculine men more attractive
Mhm.
than your average Chad.
So the takeaway that we could get from this book, so no one else has to read it because it was an incredibly inefficiently written book. The takeaway is you should know if your girlfriend or the girl you're interested in is going to switch or has switched recently or plans to switch soon,
Yes.
because her behavior will change or had recently changed. I
Yes.
think that's about the only thing. It would be akin, or if not identical, to menopause, where women, once they hit menopause and they stop producing eggs, there's hormonal changes and all that. That is where you're like, oh, okay, here's that event, and her behavior and personality maybe even will change.
Yep.
Right.
And Chad made a good argument. It was either Chad or Dre who made this argument where it's like, imagine a man having written this book. Hell. All hell would have broken loose.
Oh, I thought he would have been. I thought the book would have been 5 pages, and he would have gotten to the point. It would have been a book
Well, that
report.
too.
Here's the
That too.
data. Here's the numbers. Goodbye.
And then he probably was a misogynist and all that, and oh god. But I found it like I haven't finished it yet, but I found there's be some interesting things in here where it's like, oh, you know what? This explains that, and that explains this, and oh, so that's what can happen when she's on the pill, like the sex drive, the what she finds attractive, the
Mhm.
weight gain, the cortisol levels, things like that. And like I said, I'm barely halfway through right now, so there is a lot more to come.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, I found it interesting.
I
To say the least, a
Okay,
new
well, I'm glad you've
perspective.
I'm glad you found it interesting. I'm glad, and there's some legitimate data in there. I would take a more larger approach. Was it Don Draper? Who cares?
Right. Rolo
Like,
probably can like dismantle all of
he could
this within a
dismantle it to the
minute.
atomic level. Yes, he
Within a
absolutely could.
minute.
He
It's
he
like
would be
his
the one.
power level is like it's over 9,000. Like,
Yeah, but let
my
me let
God.
me point out what we're doing here, and this is where I just look at how much effort men put into trying to figure out women. Like, "Ooh, she's on birth control. She's not on birth control." Da, 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 da. I'm like,
Stance of the
yeah,
moon and the
yeah,
stuff.
I just don't care. It is already. It's
You
the
know
Gordian
why?
knot. It's the Gordian knot. Do you want to untie this or you just want to cut it?
You know why
And
you don't care?
because I got
You
some
have
and
a
I'm old,
6 foot tall Amazonian woman with
double D.
grandest tatas.
Yes.
You no longer need to worry.
I know, and I also am sympathetic to the younger guys who don't. I understand it. This is kind of our job now. But I would still argue to the 23-year-old, he's like, should I worry about? I'm like, look, we are already putting way too much this is way too complicated. Way too complicated. Now, you're darn right. Rolo will have this formula broken out and have that Gordian knot untied in half a second. And then what do you get? I don't think it really changed because look, you can only respond to so much variables and a lot of it is luck too. Where it's just like you said the right thing, you did the right thing, you didn't do the wrong thing. After a while, I again, the economist to me is like, is this worth it? Like, look at to what level we're tailoring this. Do you think girls have the same? Well, we don't go through phases, but oh, he just got a job. Now, studies have shown that when men get a job, their behavior changes this way. And if we could change our behavior to go and satisfy a man and get him, they're not doing that. They're like, oh, what did the fat black lady sing this time on the
But
TikTokogram Lizzo
like
chick?
I
That's
remember
where there's so guys, I would not care really.
I
They're on birth
remember
control. Make your and then go field some balls.
like I remember this afternoon, like you mentioned wanting to do a podcast, and this afternoon I thought to myself, he probably wants to shit on women. I kind of like women these days. And now
It's
you're the one telling me, like, why do we care?
it's not shit. They be what they be. They is what
This
they
be true.
is. It
This be true.
and they're different creatures. I've always kind of understood. Don't get angry. It's their nature. But now I truly understand, especially now that I'm very convinced women just don't like men that much. It's just their genetics. They're not that interested. And when you look at that, you're like, oh, they don't want orange ice cream. So that you can't force them. But you can kind of see where, again, the male sex drive or men's interest in women is exponentially larger than women's interest in men. Because look at this ridiculousness. We're like, oh my God, and the birth control. Blah, 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 blah. Like, are we going down to this level? Really? It's
Well,
like,
well,
I mean, it's
green light.
interesting. It's academic. I think it's
Mhm.
more interesting and funny that this woman's such a horrible writer. Like, guys, if you want to see, if you want to see the classic case of the difference between a woman's writing and a guy's writing, Dr. Sarah Hill, there's nothing wrong with her as a doctor, but it's like, oh my God,
You know who?
this book could have been written in 10 pages.
Well, I like devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
Not even devil's advocate. I want to throw in some counter examples
Right.
to this. There is one great book called Hormonal by Dr. Marty Hazelton. So female menstrual when she, the female menstruation cycle hormonally without birth control, it is a giant research paper on that,
Okay.
quoted by Rolo as well, oftentimes. By Dr. Marty Hazelton, and she's worked together with Dr. Gatsad, which is pretty interesting.
Okay.
And did you know, even though like we like to like say women can't write for shit, a couple of the best animes ever were made by women. You know,
In what
Full Metal
country?
Alchemist?
In what country?
Japan.
Japan.
Just say,
I'm
not America.
I'm going to say it's a cultural difference there.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
is
little
true.
one.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, a little.
All right. Hey, I got to take a piss. You want to come back? We'll do super chats and I'll do some sponsors and all that real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
All
I can stay here. You go do your boomer
right,
thing,
hang
and
on, I'll
I'll.
be back.
Yeah, he's gonna be back, people. He's gonna be back. Hey, green light. You brought up a good point. what was it? Not denying it, but this can be another excuse for guys not getting the girls. You know what the funny thing is? This should be an excuse for them getting the girls because apparently women on birth control like less masculine guys. So if you're a black pillar, I'm just gonna like assume you're not the most masculine of guys. Well, you stand the chance. Finally, you stand the shot. So, but I get what you're saying. It's gonna be, and this is the point I was trying to make. Like, this is not some new scripture or something where it's like this explains everything. No, this is just another perspective on the whole thing of society and female nature where it's like, hey, this is interesting and this explains some things, but again, it is not the be all end all or everything. But I would love to hear Rolo talk about this. It's like, oh, or maybe there is a chapter in Hormonal about this. I forgot. I did read Hormonal by Dr. Marty Hazelton, but maybe I just forgot the whole birth control thing. Here he is. He's back. Look at him. The man,
Yeah,
the
look at
myth,
the guy in his pajamas.
the guy in his pajamas. Isn't this amazing? You can just podcast in your pajamas.
I have before. It's kind of a. I'm like kind of getting into a routine again now, where I wake up. The girlfriend has a real job, so she does her thing. I go do
You
my
laugh
asshole
at her
whistle.
when she leaves.
Not really, no, because she, unlike I would say the majority, easily the majority of women, she has a real job. She supports herself. Have you noticed the women who scream about being strong, independent are always asking for other people's money in a bailout and some kind of government grant loan or job?
There,
They're not
apparently,
independent.
no. There was apparently a senator or a mayor or something, and he said all the women protesting Roe versus Wade are ugly and sexless anyway. And then the reporter came up to him. It's like, don't you want to apologize for saying that? He's like, no, they're ugly and sexless.
Yeah. Well,
fuck off.
Well, anyway, yeah, this harsh truth is generally leftist women are the most dependent. Obviously, the GF is not. I got my. Where did my mug go? Oh, darn it! I left your coffee mug upstairs. God darn it. You'll generally, not always, but generally, your conservative, libertarian, or perhaps apolitical women with real jobs, they're the truly independent ones, and they're not the ones like, I'm a strong independent. I listen to this singing song, and I mean so much. It's like, no, she just does her work. She's an engineer. She's a dentist, and they're usually not leftists, or at least rank leftists. But yeah, I'll never besmirch because she's got a real job. She's a real supporting adult, And you know what's great about that, Jack?
You don't have to worry about it?
I don't have to pay a damn thing. I'm like, nope. And then what's also good, just so you guys, because women they still want to be led and kind of taken care of at a certain level. Well, what do you think about that? I'm like, you make that decision. You are an independent person with your own mind. Go make your decision. And so
Do you
I'm
remember?
like absolutely absolved of any responsibility.
Do you remember the first time you invited me on your channel?
No.
I remember it very well. So you invite me on your channel. I'm like, oh my God, Aaron Clare. Back then, I thought you were something, and now it's kind of like, it's not.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting once you get to know, like, oh, it's just this douche. Yeah. It is.
And like, you put me on. He's like, Jack, listen. If I'm sitting here, what am I doing? Like typing. You're like typing. The girlfriend comes in. I sit here. Honey, do you like the blue shoes?
It's all women. Well, see, the problem that was because we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment, and so my office is right there. And I would catch myself doing the same thing. Like you just there's an entity there, like, hey, you're doing your accounting. But yeah, that's why there's separate rooms.
But did you finally get like the giant steel door with the eye shut in it, where somebody knocks, you can just open it, be like, no.
Yeah, this is my room, and I told the GF, I said, you are never allowed in this room unless I'm not there. And if I'm not there, you can do whatever. You can poop in the room. You can flip the room. I don't care. If I'm in the room, You're not in, and there's a door, there's a lock, and I lock it. It's not because I'm doing anything shady or anything, but these girls will go down to the gas store. You know the gas store where they got
Yes.
gas? Not the
Yes.
not the gasoline. I'm talking natural gas, propane, like Hank Hill. And they
Yeah.
will load themselves up with gas so they can have the biggest brain fart ever and just walk in when you're obviously recording. Hey, I know you're recording. Why the fuck are you here? Oh, and this is where you can have a woman with an IQ of 200, but she's still a chick. She's still going to be logic. Oh,
Did
I
you know
didn't
my
know.
girlfriend said
Hey,
this
do you
about?
want hot dogs or brats? Oh, is that why you just interrupted like a $300 broadcast right now? Is that what? So, yeah, there's a door, there's a lock. I get it now. I get it now where um the divorces shot through the roof during COVID, where the man and the wife had to be together because like they I'm sure men screw up some other way, but man, girls, they really I'm sorry, girls, you're just not logical. Nowhere near as logical as guys. You could
Like,
be brilliant,
does yours fall over randomly as well?
fall over like
Like,
klutzy.
like probably all of the chicks I've dated, like out of nowhere, they fall over or they bump into
No.
something. Or it's like
She
whatever.
bumps
Like,
into things, but that's because she's a
yeah,
tall woman and is a little klutzy. But no, she hasn't just fallen over. No.
it's like, or they let things fall over out of nowhere. It's like,
No.
what the hell?
No. No. I not that. I don't think I've ever had a girl that just had things fall over.
Well,
But
they're klutzy as hell.
there is times where it's the what the fuck moment. Like I remember you were the smart girl who had her shit together, and you are now asking me one of the dumbest fucking questions on the face of the planet when there is an obvious answer or I'm on it. But they're girls. They're that way, and you could
I
get
do love
angry
them
at
for
it.
it.
No, I oh god, I can't. It that took anger management, and it takes another room where you just you can't, if you're trying to do work, you're trying to do something, they can't be around you. They just cannot be around you. And then there's just normal things where, Jack, am I busy?
Yes, you say you are. Yes.
Pretty busy. Do I have important things on my plate? Maybe not so much now, but 3
Well,
weeks ago,
you have your friendships to maintain overseas. Yes.
house to build,
Mhm.
things to do, consulting,
Spiders to kill.
spiders to kill. It just some free advice for women, all three that are listening. Do not bother a busy and occupied man with petty fucking choices and decisions. Should I make this or that? Don't even waste his time. Now, if he's your average American schlub and has nothing going on, and yeah, but if you got a high performance male like investment banker, surgeon, whatever, their brains are occupied with other shit that's way more important. Like, do you have brats or do you have hot dogs? If you want to make the decision. And then for guys, don't ever ask them what they want to do. We're going here today. We're doing this. Because
You
I'm
know,
nice. I still libertarian. Like, hey, what do you want to? And it's just pointless to ask. It's just
don't.
pointless to ask. Say, hey, let's do this.
No, I
Okay.
was pleasantly surprised. When was this? 2 days ago. So I met a new girl on the dating apps,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden she's like, "What podcast do you listen to?" I'm like, "Well, I listen to him and to him and to him." I didn't mention you for obvious
Obvious
reasons.
reasons.
And I was like, I don't want to dox myself there. But what was it? I'm like, why do you ask? Well, I just want to know what you're into. Like, well, not gonna like force it on you or anything. Well, that's why I ask, she says.
Mm.
I want to know what you're into. I'm like, well, this episode and this episode. Okay, started listening to it. Oh, you know what? That's actually pretty interesting.
Agency.
I'm like, what the hell is this?
So I have a question. When did the other women kill her?
I
They
don't
can't
know.
have it. They can't have
Let,
her
let me
running
check real
around.
quick if I
See
got
if
a
she's
text.
still alive.
Let me
My
check
God, a
real quick.
woman that has choice and decision making and isn't a freaking robot. I mean,
Yeah,
whoa.
I still got a text from her.
Oh my
She's
god.
alive.
Did you tell her
Within
she's
the
in danger?
I will do that right away, sir.
You know, it would be a great spoof movie.
Mm.
Is is based on that premise. Like, you're on a date with a girl, and she's like making decisions, and then the Borg females figure it out, and you got like an adjacent Bourne way protector in Europe, and no, they're coming for her. Is she still alive? And I'll be your CIA agent. Listen, Jack, I can't get you the support. You're on your own, man. You went behind enemy lines. You know we can't deal with Ukrainians.
If Captain Savo's listening, this is a good idea
That
for a
would be,
movie.
yeah. Sava would be, yeah. It just like, you know, and then like you pretend like she's the chosen one, or
Oh no,
what, the
don't
Fifth
push
Element?
it.
Remember, remember the Fifth Element? Like Bruce
Oh,
Willis
with
had to kind
Bruce
of
Willis.
protect that girl. Yeah, yeah. I think something like that. Like, oh my god, and then like, and then you know, you say, okay, look, whatever you do, don't say anything. And then she says, okay. And then she just texts her friend, oh, yeah, da, da, da. And then I asked him what, and she said, you did what? And then you come back, you just say, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just texting my girlfriend, letting her know that I asked you what kind of, no, give me that. Oh, crap. We gotta go. And then the music, da, 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 da. And then like
they're
also
already
there's
at
like,
the door.
yeah, there's sound, like there's an alarm going off at female headquarters. Rant, 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 and there's a red dot shows up. We have someone who left the campus, and then like all of a sudden you're running, and even that would be the poster. You holding her hand and running down an angle at a street, and it's dark, and then like
I
you
love
can.
it already. Look, I was listening to a podcast of Tate today, and he even mentioned that. He's like, women will be your downfall. Like, you can tell them, do not say where you are. Do not say who you are with, of whom you are with.
Why?
And don't
Why? Why?
well, exactly, because when you do, they're gonna find me. And guess what? She puts the selfie on Instagram and tags the restaurant. Babe, we gotta get out of here.
We
But
gotta get out of
why?
here.
I'm just making friends.
That when you guys, just so you know, if this is why I insist women do their own auto maintenance. Well, why are you doing that? Well, let me show you. Come here, grab those gloves, grab that wrench, no, the other wrench. Here we go. And now I'm not asked questions no more. So it's just, yeah, that would make a great spoof. Savo's got to get in on that. Like the girl that's also independent and the hive finds out.
Yeah,
You
the
know, like,
Borg. Prepare
you know,
to be assimilated.
you open up your door and she's taking a picture. She's like in a cute little apron cooking. Like, what the hell are you doing? I'm taking a picture and showing all my female friends that I'm cooking for you. No! Darn it, it's got the IP address. We got to get out of here.
Like, break the phone.
Oh, they come in like
Destroy-
zombies and they're like, you know, they can't do it. And then there's like a matriarch, like, she must not be allowed to live. Yes, master,
Yeah.
we will get her. And there's like oh, we could run with it. There'd be like the Asian female assassin ninja types. There'd be an American female sniper, a Russian fighting bully type of woman. And you gotta like, and you realize there's no place safe. There's women everywhere.
Like,
You
I
gotta
need
go
it.
to Jack. I got it. I got it.
Tell me.
Where do you find safe haven? Where does the movie end? Where's the only place you could go to be safe?
The Amish?
You got to go to a Muslim country. Go to Iraq. Like you're trying, we got to make it to Baghdad.
Dude, you know what the final line of the movie will be?
What?
Well, I guess Islam was right about women.
There you go. You're like trying to like, we gotta get to Tehran. What's like a big, I guess that's as theocratic as you could get. Maybe Saudi Arabia, I guess would be, but as a joke, like this is a South Park episode. Like you got to get to the most war torn. We'll be safe there. There's bombs and terrorist attacks. Thank God we made it.
Anita Sarkeesian, like the biggest feminist of them all, the Matrix. Sexism everywhere, and you have to point it out. It's like, And then you see all the allies, like the male feminists, coming after you, driving because they're the only capable drivers, and the female drivers they have all have accidents.
Oh, it would be great. We gotta get to Mosul. Why? It's the only place that's safe. There's a war going on there. I don't care.
It's better than here.
It's better than here. Any place is better than here.
Mm.
Hand clogs $2. Yeah, Jack is ready to go to Russia.
Not yet.
Not the nonstop Drake $2. Cappy visited the wounded dog shelter in Miami. Cynic in Chief. Oh, look at that, Cynic in Chief. $2. We can't hunt these guys down. Speak for yourself. They will. They will. Megan Crumb. Oh man, we got a girl in here. Atham not doing his job, letting the girls in. $5. I get $15.50 at my fast food job. We'll be working here until next year before working as a nurse. People are way too comfortable doing nothing. Well, good for you, Megan. Going on becoming. Look, Megan, you can be nice to your man. Just don't put any of it on the internet. Okay. You don't want him coming for you.
She's already put this online. Shit. Run.
Oh my God, she's becoming an independent woman and not
flee,
asking for
Megan.
They're
Megan.
on to you. Oh, Megan. Oh, it's too bad. They're on to you. You're not safe. Get to Mosul.
She's even working at fast food. Like, what woman these days is kind of like, I'm going to work at a fast food restaurant until I got my shit in order? You know Mark Manson?
The ones are going to be hunted down.
You know Mark Manson?
No.
The guy who wrote Models. Like in the, I believe it's on the sidebar of the Red Pill Reddit as well. But even he said, like, okay, if you're down on your luck, get a job. Any job. Don't complain about status or blah, blah, blah. Get the money in. I don't care if you have to flip fucking burgers, which I think is a very noble profession.
It's a fine job, yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, but the problem, well, it was nice knowing Megan, wasn't it? It's too bad her name's out there. She's independent. She's working hard. They're not going to let her live that long.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, well, it was nice knowing Megan. At least we got $5 out of Megan before they took her out. Wasn't that nice? Remember those good times when Megan would donate $5 to the show?
It's a shame the Borg got her.
Those are good times. Those are good times. Nonstop Dre, $2. Don't you know heart problems are the new cool trend? How, Jack, do you pay attention to the news? I don't know much about the... Is that a thing for younger? I know there's been some side effects, but are they statistically significant?
Well, we do have like an over death in the Netherlands. More people are dying than normal, where it's like, interesting.
Okay.
But nobody wants to make their hands dirty on that statistic, where it's like,
I just don't, because I don't care. I really don't care. I don't want to get perturbed about the real world. I just don't.
I like the feminist Borg idea way more.
Yeah, we should do it. Like it has to be in Europe, right? It has to be kind of a Jason Bourne thing. I don't think it would work in America. There's not enough countries nearby. What are we going to do? Escape to Canada? Like that's not going to work. So
Rich Cooper sits there as warlord with a giant sword. They found you.
You wish entry into my kingdom?
You did the work, didn't you?
No, I think like a Jason Bourne thing. You're running around, you're catching trains. You're in the underground. Yeah, your girlfriend does the nice thing, and they got to get an international assassin hit team on you, and you got to make your way to Baghdad. I think that would be the best. I think it would be awesome.
How should we name it? A Road to Mecca, or is that too on the nose?
I think it's a bit blasphemous against Islam because it indicates you're on the pilgrimage. Yeah, and Mecca's kind of a clean. No, I don't think Saudi Arabia. You got to go where it's war torn. So we'd have to figure out where it's
just
bad.
Call it Escape. Like there's no hints in the title or whatever. Just call it Escape. People will think, oh, what a nice action movie, and then it's all about escaping the matriarchy.
Yeah, she's like, you could. Like, we gotta go. Pack up what you need. We're out of here. And you're running. You're grabbing the guns. You're grabbing some armor, and you hit the button, and the wall goes away. Okay, here's your hidden cache of weapons. And she comes out, and she's like in a beautiful dress. You're like, what the hell are you wearing? I just thought you'd like it. They're gonna see you a mile away.
They have to put her in a burqa.
Wear these pants that go above your belly button and dress like a guy. For God's sake, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. I feel so ugly in this.
Good. You're supposed to. And then she runs into like girls that question her. You're like, say the right thing. I'm like, what are you doing with this guy? Oh, he's just my brother. Oh, really? Yeah, he's stupid. He's majoring in engineering. Oh, okay. You're free to go.
He doesn't even have depth.
Hat and Clugs, $2. How Fret and Fish are you, Cappy? I'm in pretty good shape for 47. Pretty good shape for 47. Nonstop Dre, $2. Cappy 100K special interview with the Dean of Carlson. Actually, she's a tough cookie. She says this COVID stuff is bullshit. And she got in trouble for it. So the
Really?
Dean of the Carlson School of Management is almost like a gal. I'm like, okay, I know you're affirmative action hire because you're a minority woman, but okay, you seem like you might have actually earned this. But no, I will not have anything to do with the Carlson School except for slamming on them. I got my degree right over there. I think I'm going to try and auction that off when I get back next year. Hat and Clogs, $2. All hail our robot dog overlords.
I still don't get that, but I'll roll with it.
What's his name? John Fitch is really worried about robot dogs with guns attached to them, which they already have.
Nice.
Prototypes. No, it's not nice because they can come after you. And so
but you can spray paint them in different colors and then they'll become the matriarchy's guard dogs.
Right. Well, you could do that. Is
or
that
would they
all we
be
got for Super
cats?
chats?
No, you got way more.
Do we have more?
Oh, you got a shit ton more.
I'm scrolling down. Wait, is Roosh V in the house?
No, that's douche V.
Oh, douche V.
It's a nice play on words. Say what you want. Roosh's game stuff was just gold.
Roosh was a pioneer. And I like Roosh. I don't mind that he joined. I'm glad he found religion.
Okay, Hats and Clogs is there.
Okay, Colin, $2. Name the female red pill YouTube channels you suggest. Real Femme Sapien, I would say. Allie.
I haven't watched her.
Yeah, the one that comes to mind. There is another gal, Wing Ma'am. I watched her videos, a couple of her videos. They're kind of top 5 things or top 10 things, but she's not wrong. And her delivery indicates she's not that good looking. So it's not like, hey guys, like women are totally dumb and they don't know what they want. It's not. It's
I know one, but it goes against me picking on her. But
well, which
no, in all honesty,
I'm all for helping out women.
Yeah. No, in all honesty, the only one I can recommend who I've actually worked with and talked to is Torsia. She and I did a collaboration on what's his name? The Praxeology of the Dominant Male, a post by Ian Ironwood. She and I narrated that together.
Oh, so she did some narration.
Yeah. Yeah, she has this ASMR voice, and Ian had his wife write a whole part in it. I'm like, I'm not gonna do a female voice for that long.
You do need to get a female.
As I'm like, Torsia, please, would you be a dear and help me out with this? And she did a great job.
You know what's funny? Roosh, because when he does dialogue in his books, because he narrated his own books, and he'd go through examples where there'd be females, and Roosh's female voice is hilarious. Like, you just cannot help but I don't know about going back to your place. But that's fine. Come back to my place. Well, it's kind of late, and it's just like, oh my God, this is hilarious. All right. Rusty Fuel, $10. The bad, selfish attitude that prioritizes women's own pride over family responsibility, I'd say love, as a result of the education system. The pill would affect sexual interest and choice. I guess, yeah, a little bit of environment, a little bit of genetics, a little bit of chemistry or biochemistry. I don't care. I mean, no matter how it's sliced, you look at the end of it, most girls are not that interested. So it's just kind of like, okay, we'll see in a couple generations or so.
Yeah. I mean, like, guys like me, we date younger anyway, so.
Right, but you're still running into what girls stick around?
That is true.
Right.
That is true.
They had their fun. You had your fun. It's cool. There it is. There it was.
Some of them I really am like that kind of hurt. Or it's like they really had a good set of tits. And it was like, if I knew I would have only had this for one date, I would have enjoyed it a bit more.
Can you not just assume you only have it for one date?
That will be my new indie mindset. Where it's
there were many times I'm like, wow, this girl's great. It's going to go somewhere. The sex was awesome. And then, no phone. I thought, it's weird. The ones you thought you hit out of the park, the umpire called strike, and you think it's sailing into the stands, and it's just like, huh?
Like,
What?
we
I
got
thought I
laid.
connected.
It was nice. It
Yeah,
was good. This is
the
in the
ball
pocket.
is still gaining elevation. It's going out of the park. Nope, struck out. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
And
oh.
then you kind of go, well, don't care, got laid, but it would be nice if she asked how I was doing.
This is. I don't think I've had the feeling since I was in my 20s.
Yeah, but you don't have emotions.
I don't have emotions. Those left my body at 29, roughly speaking. But I do remember the last, and it wasn't like it hurt. It was just kind of like, yeah, here it comes. Was the one where I'm cozy in the couch. It was a blustery winter day, and everything was wonderful and great. And she says, Aaron, and just the way she said it, I'm like, no, 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 don't ruin this. We're cozy. You're a nice tall
Don't.
blonde. It's fun. It's just this is fun. Oh, you don't want to have kids. It's like, oh, it's over. The fun time was over. Time to get off your ride.
Yeah, like, did you do like a goodbye, burying your face in it, where it's like,
She didn't
goodbye,
have those
guys?
big titties, but
Then why were you with her?
I liked her. This is a really cool
Kidding,
gal. I
kidding.
I appreciated her company. She was a cool gal. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, that's
Eh,
the thing. Like, if you have under a C cup, you better be very fucking pleasant.
She was.
It's
Oh,
like,
she was. Yeah, I was even lining up this one like, oh, this might be one I could stick with, and then I want to ruin it with little puke barf creatures that run
crotch
around.
goblins.
Crotch fruit. Do you want crotch fruit? No. No. Why can't we have this?
No, but it's
What's
like the
wrong
small.
with this?
I know, because like the small tits you can fix. It's like you throw a couple grand at
Wasn't
it
it?
and it'll
I
fix it.
wanted. It was just, you know, what a day for a daydream. Bop, 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 bop. That was what it was like with this girl all the time. It was just an enjoyable, pleasant experience. And
Yep.
then let's just shit all over this and ruin it, throw a torpedo into its side. And
You know why?
because she wanted kids and it's
No,
biology. What?
no, because your name is Aaron Clary and you are not allowed to have anything nice.
Not allowed to have anything. I can only get it.
Same as my name is Jack Napier and I am also not allowed to have anything nice.
You know what? That would be a great kind of like AA saying. My name is Bob Bobson, and I'm not allowed to have anything nice. My name is Frank Frankerson, and I'm not allowed to have anything nice. Just that confirmation you tell yourself, and then oh yeah, okay. Wisdom Vision Productions, $2. Let me simplify this, or beaches be crazy.
Yeah, but that's why I like it.
They're not crazy. They're just different. They're just different. Zoranx, $10. Regarding change of attraction, hormonal birth control affects women's olfactory nose senses, so they can't naturally. That's right. She did talk about how they lost the sense of smell, right?
Yeah, that was in there as well.
So they can't naturally avoid reproducing with genetically similar men. One item I add to reduce testosterone. Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, because the sexy T-shirt theory.
Sexy T-shirt theory? No.
Yeah, so okay, you got a couple of guys and they sweat in the T-shirt and they let women smell it, and by smell they rate the attractiveness.
Okay.
And that study showed that women tend to find men with higher testosterone more attractive, which was based on the smell of the T-shirt. But apparently women on birth control can't fucking do that.
Huh, interesting. Now, yes. Jack, she did not donate any super chats, but I'm going to click on this comment, okay? Because I think this is a huge contribution. Are you ready for some truth bombs? Are you ready to have your world destroyed, Jack?
Do it.
Okay, prepare yourself. Here you go. From Sarah Mahmood. Thank God she told us. These are some truth bombs. Women like guys that look like Mario Lopez, Tom Cruise, and Leonardo DiCaprio in the prime. Did you know that, Jack?
No.
Did you know this?
No, and I don't. Bye.
I know. It's over. It's over. Fuck it.
I don't want to deal with this anymore. Never mind.
What would we do without Sarah telling us? Thank you, Sarah.
And, by the way,
changes everything.
Like Leo in his prime. Like Leo, how old is Leo now? 50?
Like 50, I think. Yeah, he's a little older than me.
He still dates. Did you see, by the way? I thought that was a huge cop out. He started dating older. 27
26?
instead. Yeah, 27 instead of 25. I'm like, you cop out. Come on.
Well, I'm glad Sarah was here to set us straight. I didn't know that. Did you know? Hey, you know who Mario Lopez is?
No.
He's probably strictly American. He was on the show Saved by the Bell, I think.
Slater?
And no, he was the jock guy. He was the
Yeah.
Latino guy.
Slater.
Is his name Slater? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, so he does not look a day older than when he left that show. Mario,
Really?
yeah, he is like, dude, look at Mario Lopez. You got to salute this guy. I know some of it's genetics, but he stayed in shape. He's married, he's Christian. I think he's not like a card carrying Republican, but he's not a leftist. He's hosted some other stuff, but you look at Mario Lopez, you're like, dang, dude. I mean, you got to salute that guy because he
Damn.
puts in the work. Yeah, I mean, if you look at him now,
Look at that jaw.
yeah,
Christ.
he's yeah.
Like, that is my goal, to just not age. Like, I want to be like I am now at 40.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you'll pull that off, but I think Mario, he's probably my age. But he's going to be Tom Cruise when he's older. He's just going to look like this, dashing, good-looking 60-year-old dude who's like 38-year-old year
Yeah.
old looking. But
Yeah,
yeah.
like, no homo. Tom Cruise, like, what the hell? That man is 60 and he still looks,
Yep.
what the hell?
He did the what?
I think he ate babies because he came from Hollywood, It's like, there's something more than the work going on
Did
there.
the work. RC, $5. Does women's high standards, which cut out 80% of men, actually improve human genetic fitness over a very long term? I would imagine so, because that's what it's been biologically over most of human history.
I do have one big problem with the whole 80-20 thing. Like,
Okay.
it's 80-20 in their surroundings and where
Okay.
they are at.
Right.
And when you look at, like, the average of men these days and the average of women, the
Mhm.
so-called top 20% they are going after aren't that peak physically as well. A lot of guys tend to confuse the top 20% with the top 1%, which is a huge difference, speaking on a societal level.
Okay. All right.
So
I don't have kids. I'm not going to be here. I don't care. Girls, keep reading with T-Rash and let me know how that works with a
T-Rash.
modern first world technologically advanced economy. Let me know how that keeps working out.
could you
Nonstop
imagine
Dre.
if you had kids? Like,
Depends on who I'd have them with, but no, I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine.
the
No.
intellectual powerhouses they'd be.
Do you know how depressed and miserable they'd be, especially having me as a father insisting they pursue excellence? Why, Dad? Everyone else is a moron. Yeah, but you need to do it because you're going to die.
You know why I don't believe that?
What?
And just stop me if this is like too personal,
right.
but the way you talk about your nieces and like you
They're not
spoil
mine.
them rotten.
There's a difference between your kids and your nieces and nephews. All right. It's like grandchildren. You're not really responsible for them. Now, I will try to go and influence my nieces to do the right thing and major in STEM and become highly successful young ladies, but I don't discipline them. I mean, I do discipline them if they get out of line, but yeah, I love children. Children are great. They're innocent. But, I don't want my own. That's a big difference. Uncle Aaron picking them up, throw them in the back of the truck, driving around the parking lot and getting sugar. That's not being an adult. That's being an uncle. If I was a parent, it'd be a lot different. I'd still would love my children and we'd play ball and go out and adventure. But there's discipline. There's like, yeah, no, I'm not bringing a kid into this world. There's no way. No way. Nonstop Dre 360. They're making a new Kill Bill remake with Lizzo. Is that true?
No, that's probably a troll.
On. Kill Bill Lizzo. It doesn't seem. Nope. Does okay? All right. Dre's just pulling our chain.
Yep.
Just pulling the chain. Oh, let's get rid of the spammers.
I did that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You already got that one. Okay, good. Scrolling. Did you get the private girls dating chat?
Right. Yeah.
All right, got that one. Matt Baker. Let me make sure I got. Yes, Matt Baker, $5 Back to Soy Boys. Do you guys ever wonder what the relationship dynamic is like when you run into feminine men that have girlfriends. No, I don't wonder. I know.
Yeah, it's
It's one of two things: they're sexually dissatisfied and agitated, or they really just wanted an obedient, supplicant guy. There are women who are kind of the alpha and wear the pants of the group.
I
Um,
I know one woman who wants or who now can only get guys who she completely walks over, and she is so miserable, and I am
yeah,
so enjoying it. I love it so much. It's like, yes, be miserable, you yes, just
I think half of the women are miserable, and they obviously would like a strong masculine man. But be perfectly honest, I think half the women are perfectly happy because that's in their mind what they wanted, and they got it, and they're okay. And let's also keep in mind, women don't have the sex drive men do. They're perfectly all right. Most of them not having sex anywhere near as much as men. I'd say a lot of them are pretty asexual. So as long as they got their beta provider, I don't think they're all.
I'm
I
just saying.
I know. I would just based on normal behavior and girls could take or leave sex. They really could.
I don't know, man. I don't
Oh,
know.
oh,
Like, I don't know what the cause of that is, but I've been in situations when she's more into it than I am. A
okay. Out of
lot of
how many
times.
women you've ran into or pursued?
Hmm.
See,
No,
it's
okay. No, the ones I've stayed longer with, sort of say.
I didn't ask the ones you stayed longer with. All the women you pursued. We're talking single digits percents max.
Oh no, double digit percent. Huh?
10, 11.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so 1 in 8. One
yeah.
in eight have a sex drive that matches your own. So that means 7 and 8 don't, which is perfectly feasible that the majority of women have a lesser sex drive, if one at all. And so if their goal, they've been told the entire time,
Yes,
find a
they.
supporting man, get that, and sex is not that important to them, you can now understand where, like, yeah, there's a supplicant little beta and it works. I mean, it's going to be a crap family.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be like these guys have houses that are in disrepair and no one knows how to fix anything. The cars are perpetually breaking down. They're poor, and heaven help them if they got kids. But that they achieved an equilibrium. The guy gets sex once a year, and she has her nice supplicant Trader
Whatever,
Joe's husband. I don't know.
whatever you want to call them. No, you are 100% right. Indeed, like women do have a lesser sex drive than men. I'm just saying there is a sex drive.
There is a
There
sex.
is.
Some of them. Oh, I've had some where I'm like, all right, let's go.
Oh
And
yes,
but that is the exception, not the rule. Red
unfortunately.
Hawk, $5. Cappy, check Twitter. Just tagged you in a meme for this action movie idea.
When you have that meme, can you send it to me? I appealed my banning of Twitter, by the way.
Did
I
you?
I I pray to God Elon like approves
I
of that.
I thought
It's
you would
like,
have to wait a couple months for him to clean out all the leftists.
no, would be
Mm.
nice. Law
Ba,
14.
ba, 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 ba. Nonstop Dre, $2. The great one says Cappy has a good female voice. Why is that his latest podcast? I like how Nonstop Dre is a black dude and he tunes into the great one, who is like the bleepy bleep bleep bleepity bleep bleep bleep. Can't say it. Scrolling, scrolling,
Oh.
scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. Ba, ba, ba. Jennifer Hartnett's in the house.
And Jennifer's pretty based as well. I see her in my
She's
chat
here
all
all
the
the
time.
time. I wonder if like she and Dr. David Perrodin are like they got nothing else going on because they're always tuning in. It's like, do you have something to do? Like, you want to go? I mean, I like my show. All right, I think that's it. Let me do this, then we'll maybe get to a article. Where'd it go? I have where the
AIDS.
sponsors. Pirate Book piratebooktakedown.com. If you guys are content creators, you don't want people pirating your material and offering it for free, go to piratebooktakedown.com and have Doug take it down for you. Non-communist science fiction.com. Michael Kingswood has he has science fiction that is not communist. So if you like that there, where did it go? There it is. Bowtiedraptor.substack.com. If you are interested in becoming a data scientist and you like to do it the most quick way possible, like not go to school for 6 years, start working early, making money quickly, go to raptor.substack.com. It is, you just subscribe to a newsletter for free. They give you the updates. There's discussion boards and everything. And if you pay for the premium package, you get coaching and mentoring and all that. So at minimum, subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the channel or the website, and read the free material before. If you're interested in data science, please go there. And then hopefully that's your first step. If you're interested in data science, go there. The Way of Monkey book, written by Turd Flinging Monkey. It is the foremost and best book on stoicism for the modern day era. I know people like Marcus Aurelius, but the dude was alive 2,500 years ago, and not wrong. But things have changed a little bit since then, especially in the modern era. Please go get the Way of Monkey book, available on paperback, Kindle, and Audible. And then VeloWave. If you guys are interested in getting a pedal assist electric bike, I'm going to put it in the chat room. Get a VeloWave. And if you're interested, you can get my affiliate link, and then I'll give you the code. The code is Aaron, AARON. But it has to go with that affiliate link. Otherwise, I don't think it works. You get $200 off. And that is for those of you who don't want to be stranded in a city when the gas isn't around. Oh, no, there's no food. Oh, what do I do? I'm going to go to the store and get the food. There's no food here either. Oh, no. So if you want, go get yourself a pedal assist bike. It is solar powered, and it has a range of 40 miles, which is about 3 billion kilometers when you convert it to those sissy European miles. That's it. And then my books. Get my books. Oh, I forgot my Achieving Financial Excellence course. If you guys want to get your financial act together, go take my Achieving Financial Excellence course, available on teachable.com.
I wanted to mention something to you.
Yeah.
There was one thing, a small thing you missed in Bachelor of Bad Economics.
Yeah.
I just thought of today because, and it is one of your most looked over advice. Like, everybody knows you for the financial things and like the whamming, but you mentioned in Bachelor of Bad Economics, just get a job where you don't have to do shit. And you mentioned the government work, but there was one detail you missed in there, and that is office politics. Because unfortunately, with like the government jobs where you don't do jack shit, that levels out with the politics. Where it's like, okay, you don't really have to work, but you better be good at ass kissing.
Like, can you just ignore that stuff? Like, yeah, I'll do my job.
They'll kick you out.
Really? You got to play the politics, otherwise you get kicked out, huh?
If certain people don't like you, you will be on your way out. You will be on your way out.
It was fun working that government job then. All right, bye.
Unless like what you could do is like play it until you get the contract. And government workers are very hard to fire. So just play the game until you sign. And as soon as you sign, just do whatever the fuck you want to do anyway, because they probably can't fire you. That was something I thought of today where it's like, I can't remember reading that.
People are like, hey, are you going to update Bachelor of Bad Economics? No, I'm going to write an addendum. Update a book. Do you know how long that would take? To rewrite a book? Like, no, I got.
Hey, yo, bro, we like that you indeed acknowledge you sound a bit robotic on the audiobook. Could you do it again? It's like, mother.
No, it's recorded, one and done.
He actually said, bro. It's like,
we have special guest celebrity. The T-Rash is in the house. T-Rash, sup, kneecap and cappy. I thought might have gone talking about if I was president, there'd be a lot of kneecapping. Where like you could require a master's degree for certain jobs, but don't be surprised if your HR director showed up in a wheelchair because their kneecaps weren't working one day. Just like, oh, well, what happened to all your HR journalists? Why are they limping? What happened?
So a friend of mine, we were texting, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I can listen to podcasts today at work. I can lean back, don't have to do anything. Wi-Fi on the job. He's like, I'm in a meeting, and he showed me the agenda.
Yeah.
And it's like, you got the departments, and almost all departments had one key point
Yeah.
And then HR was this long. It's like,
Just get rid of HR. I look. You know what's great? You know what's great? Who does that hurt, Jack?
people with a normal job, not us.
Hurts. It hurts them, not
Yeah,
us.
not
Not
us.
us. Do you
Not us.
think I'm ever tolerating HR?
No. No,
I'm
no, no.
not.
Oh, that is like the best feeling in the world. And I wish everybody could feel this the moment you know that you always have one foot out the door because you've
Mhm,
got your side hustle or whatever,
mhm.
and you just want to do something during the day, and they try to pull HR on you, and you're just like, bye.
Bye. Yeah. I I will go on welfare. I'll live in a ditch before. No, I will, and I'll just say I don't care if I got to get a job, and I'll interview with the job and da da da. Like, okay, well, we got to interview with HR. No, I don't. And what? I'm like, I'm not dealing with these stupid questions about what's your favorite color and why. Some Marxist leftist girl who doesn't know anything about the job. You are either serious about hiring me or not. Obviously, you're not because you're going to have your witchcraft doer cast in a spell. So no, and then like, oh well, HR wants a meeting with you. Oh, that's nice. I just wouldn't show up.
Like the HR girls, I think are fine because you can flirt with them, and it makes it a hell of a lot easier. Like every time
They
there's
get
an H,
fired? What?
no, you can no. You think they'd fire me for flirting? Of course not. I've done it before, like
All
job
right, I
interviews.
you could
J-
go ahead and
No,
I
it's the way how you do it. You don't be blunt about it. You just be charming.
all right.
You know
You
what
go
charming
flirt
is,
with
right?
the HR. That
You
vindicates
know
their existence and their employment. I
what I was about to say is, you know what's way worse? Male HR employees.
okay. I've never
Those
ran into one yet,
Oh,
but
I did. I did. They suck. They absolutely suck. If you're even a bit of a man of value, they hate you. It's like, oh, you work out. It's like they just look at you with disdain. It's like, ugh.
okay, you can have fun flirting with the HR people. My goal would be, well, one, I'm self-preservation and self-respect. The secondary goal is you tell the hiring people, like the people like, oh, we need labor. And I'm like, here I am. I'm offering my labor. Oh, now you gotta talk to HR. No, I
Nope.
don't. What? What do you mean? You either get labor, competent labor, or you send other people to HR. I'm not doing HR. Just it's an unnecessary, it's political. I hate them. They're worthless, they're pointless. They've cost me enough jobs and all that. So I'm not dealing with HR. You either hire me or you don't.
But we need to know your favorite
We
color.
need to know if you were an animal, which one would you be? We need to know
Where
how you
will you
interact
be in
with
5 years?
we need to know how you interact with 23-year-old moron girls who have an IQ of 71.
Oh, they don't want to know how I interact with those. They don't.
I would maybe I go into HR and then I'd start asking them the exact well, what's your favorite color and why? Interesting. And I'd have it on, and then I just level with the HR. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do you actually think you do anything? Like, how do you live with yourself? This is the dumbest shit ever. Like, were you the teacher's pet and got straight A's but didn't do good? Like, how? How are you here? What's
Oh.
this like? Like, you fuck you. You're dumber than this rock, you know?
You know who HR girls are? Those are the girls when no, hold up. Those
Yeah.
are the girls when the teacher said at like 15 minutes before class would end, any questions? And you just look at each other like, any of you assholes put their fingers up, you're dead.
Mhm.
There was always this one girl. That's HR. Hey,
Mhm.
I have a question. It's like, oh. And she asked for an explanation like 30 minutes long. I was like, oh my God. Hey, it's
So,
Thor.
$10 from McHelt, for the cause Cappy from Red Pill Thor. Oh, he must be hanging out with Thor. If you
That
guys
is
are looking,
Red Pill 4.
no, but it isn't Red Pill Thor. Say Red. It's
In
not McCalt, is it? Or is
in
that
the
actually that's
yeah,
Thor's? That is.
yeah.
Oh, I thought. Oh, Thor, what's up? I thought it was somebody who co-opted your thing. Anyway, if you guys want to help out a charity, Missy and Thor have medical expenses. Just search Missy Thor GoFundMe because Thor and Missy are very unique names and they deserve it. I'm not gonna go into it, but she got fucked up and she's learning to rewalk and live again, and they definitely could use your money. Um,
I put the link in the chat.
Oh, you got the link? There it is. Yep. Help Missy recover from spinal cord injury. Yeah. And I think if they just search it, they got that. All right. That's it. Jack, you want to promote your stuff?
I do actually. I do. Where are my links? I put the link to my channel in the chat already, and I will do that
I have it in the
again.
description as well, so you can subscribe to
Oh,
chat.
really? Because
Yeah.
since you are heading to that 100K subscriber count,
We're almost there.
and
Almost there.
I am from socialist Europe, as you
Mm.
might know, and since
Yep.
you are already paying for my military, I think it is nothing but fair that a small 10% of that 100,000 goes to my channel and subscribe. So I will get 10,000.
If some
Seems
of
fair.
you, are feeling kind and charitable and want to subscribe to a socialist pussy overseas, may I recommend Jack's channel that you subscribe to? You could talk. He'll talk about feelings and what it's like to get free
Feelings.
food, and then like, are the Russians going to invade again? And gee, we hope Ronald Reagan is there. That kind of thing. And where are our bikes? Will we get our bikes back from the Germans? That kind of stuff. Yeah. So,
And I narrated 2 books for Troy Francis, A Poacher Like Chad and Text Game Mastery. So if you want to do the work, go listen to that. And my channel, all the rest is in there because my personal training is now full, and I will update everybody when a place is open again. But for now, just go to my channel and the narrations. And that is it.
I'm going to take a shower. Do you know what's on my day today, Jack?
You're going to take a shower.
Go take a shower.
You're going to spend quality time with the girlfriend for head therapy, which is what every man needs. You're not?
No.
Oh my
I'm going to
God,
go to the gym. And then we're going
to get
go to
the abs.
No, I'm not going to get abs. I just want to get
Abs.
body strength. Then we're going to go to the grocery store because we have the great one coming over for dinner. And for whatever reason, the GF likes the great one. I don't know why.
Maybe they both dislike a particular kind of people.
They do hate Ryan Stone, don't they? I think we can all unite that we all hate Ryan Stone. I think that's the unifying force of everyone here, despite our disagreements. Then we'll probably go to the coffee store, and then we might do the head therapy. So,
a man needs that. A man needs his head therapy.
Imagine that. Men need sex. Who knew that?
No, it just, for comfort. Like, I had a long day, like, present him. It's like, thank you. That's all you need.
All right, take us out.
Turtles.